What's up, you guys? My name is Jacob Dartblade, and this is Vex Robotics' newest competition for the 2016-2017 season, Starstruck. Now, for those that saw my Robo Rumble video, that was Vex's the current competition, Nothing But Net, for the 2015-2016 season. Now, they're changing it up this year for doing like a blast from the past for one of the there's multiple games it's kind of going off of, but I'm going to say one that's pretty obvious. For those that have seen the competition Clean Sweep, this is very similar to that. Now, in the competition Clean Sweep, your objective is to push all of your scoring objects that are in your field to your opponent's field to score more points. The person who has more points scored on the other person's field would win the match. Same way goes for Starstruck. You'll have these basically called jacks and these foam cubes. Well, not really foam, they're more like pillows. Now you have to throw over your opponent, over the field. Well, over this giant wall, and there are two scoring zones. You have the low scoring and the high scoring. The low scoring is where the tape goes towards the fence, and then the high scoring is near the other side where the field perimeter is, and the red and blue tiles. Now, there are 24 scoring objects in Vex Robotics Competition Starstruck. Unlike in Clean Sweep, there are more. And there's also more than one way to score. Now, unlike Clean Sweep, during the final 30 seconds of the match in Starstruck, you can use a foam cube, a cube, by your control load. And also, there's more. It doesn't show it in the picture, but there are two poles, a red pole and a blue pole. One robot can hook onto the pole and get elevation points. Low elevation would be 4 points, and high elevation would be 12. Jacks in the low scoring goal will be for 1 point, while the jacks in the high scoring would be 2 points. Now for the cubes, 2 points in the low scoring and 4 points on the high scoring. Now, in the beginning of the match, there is a 15-second autonomous period, which you have one jack driver control load, where you can score without the use of a controller, and whoever scores the most within that 15 seconds is the autonomous winner and gets 4 extra bonus points. Now, what do I think of this game? This is very interesting, because I know a lot of people are not really liking it, because it's very weird how these scoring objects are created. Now, as they say every year, they're wanting to challenge people. Every year they challenge with something different. From the first year, you're just using tennis balls and you're picking them and putting into a goal, to basically similar thing last for the 2015 season, where you're shooting the ball into a goal. Now, they want you to figure out how to build a robot that will pick up the spike and basically launch it over the wall that's 2 feet tall into the scoring zone. Now, this is something where you're going to need the super kits for, the $1,000 super kits. Because you could possibly do it in the mechatronics kit, but not the programming kit. That has just sensors, and you can use, and you're also going to need some other things, but I'm not going to be really descriptive because I already have a plan for it. And I'm going to guess what a lot of people are going to do. They're going to do a launching system. Basically like a catapult, where they find something to pick it up, and then they're going to shoot it over the wall. And it's going to be really tricky for these foam cubes, because there's going to be a lot of air. There's going to more likely be a lot of air in it. So it's going to be harder to shoot it over the wall. And also, with this wall, no one can get past it. So, the blue team will stay on their side, and the red team will stay on their side. Now, I will be doing another video on this. It's not Starstruck, but it's the Vex IQ competition, and I'll talk more about that one. And I think I'm gonna go more in the description of Starstruck. I think we're actually gonna have a competition this year. Now, with Vex, nothing but net, it really wasn't that hard. Because all you're doing is just find a way to get it, at least in the logo, and if you can, the high goal. Anyone can basically get into the logo as long as you build properly. And it's really easy for anyone. Just for the Clawbot kit, you can basically build a bot that can just pick up the ball and then put it into the net. It doesn't have to be anything special. Like, not in the net, but the logo. Now, once you get into these bigger kits and expansion sets and all that, that's where you're going to be able to shoot it. Now, those Clawbot kits are really not going to make a real difference. Now, it could if you have an alliance that, if you just have a catapult for one bot and then the Clawbot for the other, which the Clawbot will be able to pick up this jack or the ball, iron box, and then put it onto the catapult. Now, that's not going to do anything for the 2-foot tall wall where there are the majority of the scoring objects in the middle of the field. Now, I honestly really like this one. Now, I don't care what anyone else says saying they dislike it. I actually really like it. Because there is now a new way of people trying to think. Every year they try to make you think bigger. Make your brain excel. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to overthink it. That's my really big suggestion. Because it's going to be very tricky trying to pick up the scoring objects. Not the cube, but the spikes. Or the jacks, as I'm calling them. Because they are bent. Because they're not just going to stand up on one of their ends where you can just pick it up by the thing just standing up. You're going to have to pick it up at an angle, which I believe a lot of people probably, if they're picking up something and shooting it, they're going to put their thing that picks them up in an angle. Or they're just going to make it straight and just have it go through the middle of the thing, which comes apart, but if you put it together, if you take it apart, it's more likely to destroy it. Now, I think they should have made... Now, I'm going to talk about my pros and then my cons. My pro is that it's going to make people a lot think better. My con is this is not going to be easy. Now, I'm saying that very common sense like. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy on any part. None of these competitions are really easy. Because now, especially with I read the manual a few days ago. And yeah, call me a nerd if you will. But you only start 18 by 18 you do that every year. But now, kind of like Skyrise, you can extend after the beginning of the match. Which is basically not dip, because how are you going to be able to pick up the spikes with your only being 18 inch by 18 inch? You're only a little bit off from the jacks on the fence, and you're not going to be able to really pick them up. Now, I'm going to try to be in this competition. I don't know if I will be able to, because with me going to male, I'm not going to be able to... There's not a robotics club, but I really want to try to get one there. Because it's really good. Because a lot of people are really interested in engineering. In the STEM, science, math, and technology. And also, with JCPS now being wanting all their schools to participate in this, it's really going to make a lot of people want to try. Especially with the elementary and middle schoolers who are doing the IQ. Because now they're unlike, I'm just going to go more in depth in the other video. But this isn't really going to be a big video, because I'm just basically giving my thoughts. But I wish the best. I'm going to talk about the elevation. Now, this is going to be pretty easy. Because think of how difficult people have had to try to get them elevation points this year. Where they're not having to pick up their bot. build something that will basically flop down so they can pick it up. Now, this year, all you're having to do is just attach onto the pole and then hang on it. There are a lot of very simple ways you can do this. And I basically already have a plan, but I'm not sharing it because I don't like giving away my ideas. Especially this early in the season. Now, if I do get a kit or robotics club, I more than likely will do a introducing video if I finish the bot in time. And if we get one in mail, that would be great because then we can compete in the Robo Rumble. Well, they'll more than likely have that competition. Now, that's basically it on my thoughts of Starstruck. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys leave a comment, and I hope you guys subscribe for more. And also, good luck on the 2016-2017 season. That's robotics competition, Starstruck. And I am out.